few short weeks there, I mean, April 14th, or to see green returning to those fields. And then we get that in July and August out there. So great habitat for our bees and native bees and butterflies and all of those. Just these are more pictures of observatory. And, one great thing I can't do without mentioning is the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. They provided funding for this. They paid for all the seed out there at the observatory. And native seed, John knows this, is quite expensive. So it's cool to get, partners, the Fish and Wildlife Service to help us out and give us a bunch of money to do these projects. Orchard Hills, we did a similar thing out there. Again, we use fire out of Orchard Hills and we get some nice results. This is Furring Meadows, I believe, a little area we've been working on hard at Furring Meadows. That is Orchard Hills right there too. So we get all these beautiful flowers, yeah. Great for pollinators. Furring is really interesting. We've got these great birds that nest out there. These are bobolinks. They travel all the way from South America up here to nest in right there in Bainbridge. They need these big open meadows to nest successfully. So furring is a great one that we love to manage, and of course we have monarch butterflies and all these wonderful birds out there, grassland, meadow birds. You also get, of course, the hawks and some really neat, interesting migratory birds that show up there. Of course, bluebirds. People love to walk and see the bluebirds. The other cool thing that we do is we collect the native seeds. We collect the seed in the fall. We'll collect and bag up lots of this seed, and then we'll reseed areas or use it in a different part. So we like doing that.
How do you get the seeds?
We collect them by hand. Yeah, we use them by hand. I actually did a public program last fall at Observatory Park, and we had folks come and I taught them how to collect and gather seed in bags, and so it's fun. People enjoy it. So Earth Day is coming. Just quickly, what can the homeowner do? What can everybody else? That's what I get a lot. Is, well, this is great. You guys do all this for the park land and everything, but what can I do? Actually, you can do a lot. 83% of the United States is privately owned. I mean, it's great what we're doing here, but it's kind of a sliver, really. It's really in private hands. Quickly, what's the largest crop in most metropolitan neighboring communities? Areas? What is it?
Grass.
Turf grass. I hate turf grass. I hate it. Not because I'm lazy. Yeah, I mean, people like my wife, really, you just don't want to mow. Well, actually, it's not very good. It's actually a desert for biology. It's terrible. And I've got all kinds of cool statistics. Do you know, we've got land converted in lawn is the size of New England in the United States. That's how much lawn we put in. All these crazy facts on mowing when you really start looking at it. Oh my gosh. The amount of money and stuff and pollution put out by just mowing grass. And of course, fertilizers. We do lots of that to the lawns. And you heard that. Where's fertilizer go? You might as well just be doing this for the most part, right? And that's why we have these problems in Lake Erie. And I got to put that out at Bass Lake, unfortunately. So, what can you do? Everybody should read one of these books. This guy is one of the coolest guys. Who has this book? Have you read these books? I hope somebody has. Yeah, I got to have lunch with this guy a little while ago when he brought this book out. Douglas Talmay, really cool researcher from the University of Delaware. Kind of relate like what people can do at home for nature. Most of the land is privately owned. What can we do? Connect it. Start thinking about your land connecting to the bigger picture. Parks, urban landscape. I'm not going to get into this because I don't want too much time, take up too much time, but gardening and all that. Create functioning areas in your yards with native plants. That's really important. Here's my yard. Little picture of my yard. This is a few years ago. It's one of my daughters. I have 4 kids. That's Olivia. She's 18 now, I think, or something, but I liked her a lot more back then. Sorry to say. Olivia, she'll get it. Teenage girls aren't a whole lot of fun. But who survived teenage girls?
I'll definitely say
Survived, yeah, in the middle of them. Anyway, you got all these great advantages to using native plants in your yard, right? Get kids in the yard to do stuff like that. Here's just pictures of the plants in the yard, my yard. If maybe gardening's not your big thing, how about just some trees? You can do some trees in your yard. What are the best trees? Number one tree to get and put in your yard is an oak tree. Plant oak is number one. A single pair of breeding chickadees catches 7,500 caterpillars just to rear one clutch. That's a lot of caterpillars, and oak trees are one of the best at having all those moths and the larvae and caterpillars on them. So they're great for wildlife. My challenge is, think about it. Maybe reduce your mowing in your yard. I don't know if you can do half your yard, but I've tried. And it's hard to get your neighbors to go along with this, I will tell you. When I first moved in my place 20 years ago, we only had a couple acres. This is part of my yard here, the picture. And the neighbors, I stopped mowing part of half of it, and the old man came over. Boy, you need some help here? You're all right. I can come and help if you want. I'm like, no, you actually go, I'm great. I'm a wildlife biologist. I want to leave this for the wildlife. The kids want to play and learn about insects. And all right, that's fine. A week later, I come back and it's all mowed down. Bill came over. Hey, look what I did for you. See that? Bill, I told you I didn't really want that down. But I let it go, and I talked to him again about the values of it. And pretty soon, people started coming over. They saw all those flowers, tree flowers in the yard. They were asking me, well, that's cool. I'm glad you're doing that. How do you do all that? I just split it and make sure you just kind of watch things go. So it takes time to get people around your neighborhood to get what you're doing, but it's worth doing. What if each American, just quickly now, what if each American converted half of their lawn into wildlife habitat? How big of an area do you think that would be? Acres in the United States. Million acres?
20 million?
Who said that? 20 million acres in the United States would be wildlife habitat. How big is that? How big of a park would that be? It would be as big as the Everglades. It would be as big as Yellowstone. All these combined. Yosemite, Grand Teton, Canyonlands, Mount Rainier, the Cascades, Badlands, Olympic Park, Sequoia National Park, the Grand Canyon, Denali, and the Great Smoky Mountains all combined. That's a heck of a park. So, we could, private citizens have a huge park to start developing. All right, so this is my last slide. Earth Day celebration, what can you guys do? We give out plants, all these native plants I was just showing you guys. We give out hundreds of them to people that come and drive through. We usually have a nice big to-do, but obviously the last few years has cut that back. So we have these drive-throughs and people can come pick up native plants and put them out in their yard. So come Earth Day, come and drive through with us. You got to register, and then we're going to be doing some tree planting at Veterans Legacy Woods too with a bunch of groups. So thank you for your time. That was just a little bit of some other interesting things. What we manage the meadows and why we want to manage for meadow habitat and parks. And hopefully in a few months we'll come back with something else interesting for you.
In the aquarium.
In the aquarium? Oh, in this aquarium? Quickly, we've got, these are salamanders that rely on our forests around here. They usually live in the forest as adults. These are adults, these big black salamanders are called investigated salamanders. And they need these little wooded pools. In the springtime, right now, they come out, even when it's snowing, and they'll go into the pools and lay eggs and breed. And then they come back out into the forest and all summer long in the forest. Invertebrates and things like that. They're good indicators of the health of the forest.
Did you have a Facebook post with once a month?
Probably, yeah. They were running, I'm sure maybe the Naturalists did a program with that. Who else wants to see? There's a little frog in there. That is a green frog. It looks like wood frog, and all those things are going to be coming next. So, Anyway, life is waking up here at the Park District, so.
We get a picture?
Sure.
You and Miss Albert?
Oh,
I don't know if anything will show up. Huh, there they are.
all right.
Great job, Paul.
All right, thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay.
One of the projects that Paul mentioned was Roaring Meadow. We were fortunate enough to get that project originally funded when we took it from agriculture to be the tent of the donor, Paul Program, to Meadow. And U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is very supportive of that project.
Yeah, I forgot to mention.
Yeah, no, that's fine.